We're here at Spain Park High School with girls flag football head coach Carmen Starr. How are you doing tonight, Coach?
Doing great.
Most people will recognize the Starr name not only because of your husband playing soccer, but not only do you coach, but you're also the all-everything athletic administrator.
I am.
The Coach Donaldson's right-hand man and stuff.
Yes, sir.
Nice to get out of the office every once in a while.
That's fun. Yeah, love it.
So, also tribute to you, flag football that's in its third season? Fourth season.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something that you championed.
I did, absolutely.
For girls. Talk a little bit about that.
I'm a passionate football fan, always have been my whole life. And so when they announced it 4 years ago, I looked at our former AD and I said, we're doing that and it's going to be mine. And I wanted us to have another sport for female athletes, to give them an opportunity to play a high school sport. And once I told my husband, Robert, about it, I was like, look, I've never thought about coaching, never wanted to coach. And he was like, well, I want to do it with you then. Let's do it together. So that's kind of what we do. And we've, developed a program and just kind of learned as we went. But yeah, now.
Resistance is the wrong word too, but there were some challenges getting it going as well as far as scheduling. Girls playing multiple sports. And
yes.
So as you first started, you had to practice in the mornings and there was a tough time getting games scheduled.
Yeah.
You guys had to work through a lot to get it going.
Well, AHSA did a great job on partnering with the Falcons and the Falcons coming in and really stepping up and, giving schools grants so that schools didn't have to fund all of this, and foot the bill themselves. So that helped a lot. I think a lot of the girls, they wanted to come out and see what it was about. They weren't necessarily, football players or anything. They just knew that they wanted an opportunity to play another game. So we didn't have a whole lot of multi-sport athletes at that time. We had a couple of lacrosse girls, a few soccer players, some track kids, and that was really the extent of it because most multi-sport athletes didn't know what the requirement's going to be. Are we going to practice 5 days a week? Are we going to go 2 days a week? And and we approached it as developing a program. We are a 5-day-a-week sport. We are a varsity sport. We are doing everything exactly the way it needs to be done because we don't believe in shortcuts, So.
And you're regulated just like any other sport. I mean, this is
Absolutely.
a true, legitimate high school sport.
Correct.
Probably the only thing that's unique about it is while schools are still getting teams up, you have a combination of 6A and 7A.
Right. Yeah, and that makes it certainly a little more difficult. But our region, with Vestavia, with Prattville now, with Oak Mountain, with Hoover, these are schools that have played all 4 years. So it has absolutely made us better, made us stronger because the competition is there. So, same thing with Hewitt-Trussville. They've played all 4 years. So I'm really proud of all the teams in our region that have played for 4 years, and then the ones like Mountain Brook who is coming along and trying to develop a program now. So, it's a lot, to step up now and start a program, but I think the benefit of having started 4 years ago, is certainly paying off for us now.
You mentioned lacrosse earlier. Lacrosse is not a sanctioned AHSA sport in Alabama, at least in our region.
Right.
Has being a sanctioned sport helped you entice some girls to come play and be a part of their school program?
I think there's pros and cons for it, all the way around. I think it does help because, everybody wants an opportunity to fight for that blue map. I think our success has certainly helped too. Our first 2 seasons, we were 7-4, and last year we were 12-2. So, things have been moving in the right direction. And, we kind of pride ourselves on building this culture of where we're going to work hard. We're going to have some fun, but it's a neat little community of a lot of different athletes. This year we've got some basketball players playing. We've got some softball players that decided to come out. So it's really cool to see the diversity and just the dynamic and having just this extra team opportunity for these girls who might not ever, play a sport with each other, and just to see how that dynamic works.
Because the sport is so new, you don't have girls that have been playing since kindergarten, first grade. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of parity right now. So any team can pretty much beat any team on any given night.
It takes a lot of homework for sure. And, what's great too is now youth is coming along. So, our middle school has developed a club and is, doing a flag football club. Now they have youth female, flag football. So yes, when we first started 4 years ago, this was not an option. So we were literally teaching girls how to play football. I was like, oh man, I bet we have a bunch of football fans out here. And no, we didn't. There were a few that would watch football, but it wasn't, they were just looking for a new opportunity. So that part has actually been really fun just to see where they come along, especially from starting at the beginning of the season. This year, we had a lot of new kids come out, which was great. We had a lot of young ones come out, but you're literally starting from scratch on teaching them the game of football, and I think it's awesome.
So tell us, how can you best describe this year's Jaguars flag football team?
Unexpected, really. They've just, things started to kind of click. This is the first year that we, had a JV program. And so I'm really excited about, just getting the opportunity to develop a little bit of a bigger number. It's been a lot of different personalities, but I mean, we've had a lot of fun, but definitely a little unexpected, and just so many different things going on. And just seeing how quick over the last 6 weeks that they've really kind of stepped up their game, got things dialed in. Their confidence has really improved, and they're just working hard. They're getting after it.
So you played Trussville earlier in the season at Trussville, lost a very close game from what I understand. So it should be a close game again tomorrow night. What can fans expect to see?
No quit. We're expecting, confident in that I think we're much better prepared for tomorrow's game than they were earlier in the season. So, Hewitt is a great team. They're well coached. They know what they're doing. So it'll absolutely be a great game. And, we're thrilled to be hosting. I'm
going to ask you the same question I always ask Coach V to wrap it up is, what are 2 or 3 keys to victory tomorrow night? What do the Jaguars have to do if they want to walk off the field victorious?
No mistakes. Defense has got to really step up, and no missed flag pulls, and really just no penalties, nothing that shoots ourselves in the foot. We've got the ability to do things on offense. We've got the ability to do things on defense. Our biggest problems a lot of times tends to be ourselves.
Your own worst enemy.
Yeah.
Right. So there's an old saying out there, if you don't fear the enemy within, the enemy outside can do you no harm.
1,000%. 1,000%.
We want to congratulate you so far on a wonderful season. We're hoping to see at least 2 more games out of you.
Same.
And we want to wish you the best tomorrow night, and go Jags.
Go Jags. Thank you.
I'm here with Spain Park Jaguar flag football players, J.K. Hutchison, quarterback, and Rory Payton, wide receiver and defense. First thing I got to ask you, is she always on the mark with her passes?
Definitely.
So anyways, I've got to be careful. I coach both these girls in basketball, so they probably know more about me than I know about them. But JK, you did make the transition from basketball to flag football. Talk a little bit about your decision to do that and how much you've enjoyed flag football.
Both of those sports are pretty different, but I just found that flag football, the community kind of drove my passion for it. Like, I love watching all the girls come together, not knowing, different classes, and watching all the bonds come together, new friendships made is what really, really gets me excited about the sport.
So I know she talks about the bonds and the friendships. You guys have been friends for a number of years, very close friends. And I know not only do you play this, but you guys played lacrosse together.
Yes, sir.
So talk about some of the skills that you've learned in lacrosse that kind of helped you prepare to get to this point in flag football.
With lacrosse, there's lots of footwork that has to go into it and lots of IQ that you have to focus on. And I feel like that's really similar with this sport. You have to know what you're doing at all times. And but the difference is lacrosse, I feel like there's a lot more pressure because everyone's looking at that one person with the ball. When flag football, I feel like it's more together and there's lots of different things that you can focus on. So it's a lot less stressful.
From the offensive side of it, as far as being a quarterback, in football, you hear a lot of these days about the read pass option. When you get a play in flag football, do you have an option to run or pass it, or do you make kind of that choice on the field, or you run a specific play?
So usually I try to just read the defense first and go off read the defense, go off my first option, second option, what's going to be best,
Do you pass it more or you run it more?
I'd say I pass it more for sure.
Do you? So what do you like playing better, offense or defense?
I think I like offense a lot better. Defense, you have lots on your shoulders. With offense, it's either you catch it or you drop it. But defense, if you lose a girl, then it's a really big deal, and it's a lot more stressful.
If I'm not mistaken, you guys are both juniors, right?
Yes,
sir.
And so you guys really started with this program. Do you guys take a lot of pride in being able to build the sport for not only Spain Park, but high school athletics to where it is today?
Definitely. Me and Jenna joined when we were in 8th grade, so the very first year. So we've been here for 4 years with the team. And I just feel like every year it just gets better and better, and everyone gets more competitive, and it's just grown a lot, and I'm very proud of everything that we've put into it.
What about you?
I agree with Rory. I mean, from the very beginning, watching this program grow has definitely been a process, and taking pride in where we started and where we are now, it's definitely amazing to watch.
So Spain Park football been very successful both for the boys and for the girls this year. So you guys talk a little trash with the boys now that you guys are football players?
Not really, but I feel like I've had lots come up to me that have said congratulations. I feel like it's definitely more of a supportive thing than a trash talk.
Yeah, they are. They definitely respect you. I mean, I definitely think they appreciate. They know what it takes to build, because they've spent the last 4 years building too. So, and we want everybody to come out tomorrow. Anything you want to add before we wrap it up here?
Go Jags!
Go Jags!
Go Jags! There you go, Hunter.
Thank
And
you.
Laila's senior.
Thank
Laila's a senior Spain Park Jaguar flag footballer. Chenelle is an 8th grader. Her sister Tori Hunter though played basketball here for 2 years at Spain Park. And how's your sister doing these days? First off.
She's doing pretty good. She's playing basketball in Florida, so she's thriving up there.
And you play both sides of the ball. What positions you play?
I play wide receiver and safety.
So, and I understand maybe are you the leading receiver for the Jaguars?
Yes, I am.
So, and you probably have one of the hardest jobs on the team. Not only do you block, okay, which is it's easier said than done because you can't touch them in flag football, but you also got to punt the ball, right? And that's a big part of flag football that I think people don't realize.
Yes, it is. I was not the punter before, but I became the punter this year, and it's been kind of fun, kind of learning how to punt the ball.
But the thing is, too, you want to do good for your team when you're out there, but you don't want to punt, right?
Exactly.
So talk a little bit about it, just so some of the people who may not understand flag football, the rules of blocking, because I understand you got to have your hands behind your back, and there's all sorts of stuff. If you raise your hand, you can get a flag, even if you touch them or not. So blocking flag football is a lot more challenging than it sounds, isn't it?
Definitely. I was kind of expecting more of the football side of blocking with like the whole O-line. But with blocking, you do have to have your hands behind your back, as well as you can move with the quarterback, and you have to move like with her to kind of block the people from getting to her. And then if you do move your hand, it can be a flag. But some refs do watch and some refs don't. So it kind of depends on who are the refs that game.
Okay. There you go. Yeah. So just like a regular football, it depends on what the refs are calling, right?
Yep.
Talk a little bit about being a wide receiver. Again, a lot of people think flag football is all about just throwing the ball. It is wide open, a little bit more wide open, but there is a lot of running aspect in there. You do have to block some yourself, don't you?
Yeah, sometimes we do. Sometimes we have plays where we just, throw a ball to a certain person, you just have to set a block and it gets a few more yards for them, so you can just be a part of that play.
Now, is this your first year playing, or were you able to play 7th grade as well?
I was able to play 7th grade as well.
But you're also playing basketball right now too, so you're juggling 2 sports, right? Are you
Yes,
in the
sir.
middle of both seasons? You're playing 8th grade Barry basketball and Spain Park flag football, right?
Yes, sir, I am.
So you started, this is your 4th year with the program. Talk a little bit about what it means to you to see how this would be at this point, because you started with a program that had never even stepped foot on a field before. And now you have a chance in the semifinals and maybe to get to a championship. Talk about the process and how proud you are of where you are today.
Yeah, definitely. I remember the first year, this was not my main sport. I actually played volleyball in middle school. But I remember coming out here the first year and there being so many people at tryouts. And then we ended up with like a really small team of like, I think 11 or 12 people. And then kind of growing from that and having like over 25 people on the team this year, and just having so many different people that play different sports coming together, and then being able to like learn this new sport and kind of learn it together, and just everything culminating from the past 4 years and us all kind of working what the seniors from before have done and building off of that and being able to make the semifinals this year. It's been really great. So.
Do you ever stop to think, 20 years from now, you'll be back, people will be playing flag football, and that's something that you started, that you were the very first person to do that? Know how many girls will have the opportunity to do what you love doing right now because you took a chance and started it?
Honestly, I wasn't really thinking about it before, but I think now, kind of as a senior, I'm kind of like, man, this is my last year. This is my last chance to kind of do anything. But like in 20 years, maybe there's going to be way more people playing, and I'll see people that were in where I am right now, and it'll just be even bigger.
Future flag football coach, maybe?
Ooh.
So, Chenelle, if you were going to describe this team to slide it, we're all spread out. I don't think he's got wide angle on it. He's already got it on wide angle for me. If you were going to describe this team like in one or two words, like I asked Mitchell Frazier one day, he said, we're going to be relentless. Describe your game that you guys play in one or two words.
We're hardworking. Like, we never give up. And if one person's down, we always try to pick them up. We just keep going, push to the end.
Okay, well, we're back here. We're going to wrap it up here at Spain Park with our Lady Jaguar. I don't know, do you guys go by Lady Jaguars like the girls in basketball or no?
Just Jaguars.
Just Jaguars. I know you got to be careful. So, going to wrap it up here with our Jaguar flag football team. We want everybody to come out Wednesday night, support the Jags in their semifinal match against Hewitt Trustful. Go Jags!
Go Jags!
There you go.